Peace. It's Pulse, Luke. Um, I feel like there's some stuff that I want to get out. Kind of tell a bit of a story to anyone who cares. Um, so when I lived in Adelaide, people that know the area that I was raised in. It's a nice area. Um, I had an immense amount of social anxiety. Um, couldn't really talk to people. Felt insecure. And I made the eventual decision to move to Sydney because at that point in my life, I chose growth over comfort. So I went through a period where I lived in a hostel. I went through a period where I lived in transitional housing in West Sydney. And the constant population of people and the constant interactions. You start in a hostel. Hostel is a very social place. I started to learn confidence within myself. So, back when I had Facebook, because of my immense love for hip hop culture, graffiti culture, and original hip hop culture. So, I might have been in high school like mid 2000s. So back then in Adelaide, it was still pretty dope. Admittingly, I'm a boom bap lover. I love boom bap. Um, the lo-fi hip hop trend that's coming out, that's pretty dope because it's almost like a reborn of like a chill boom bap. It's like the Xanax boom bap or something. Um, so through that time, I would go between Adelaide and Sydney, taking flicks of graffiti tags, which eventually, I did that, I don't know, maybe every day, every second day, I'll post flicks, which because I was always in the centre of Sydney or inner West Sydney, it got hell repetitive and I ran out of shit to post. And I did that because I felt, could be wrong, that that group was dying. The Adelaide Tags group was dying. So I wanted to keep that going. Um, so I generally I kind of humble myself, especially being here in Bali, showing respect to people. Um, Showing respect to people makes me feel good. Um, but at times, people already know schizoaffective, schizophrenia, bipolar. Sometimes I fuck up, but generally, if I'm in a good state, I'm a bit, I wouldn't say a bit of a larrikin, I'm a fucking hardcore larrikin. Um, but my intention originally, when I got back to Adelaide, because for me it felt like a bit of an L, like I took a loss. So in Sydney I built the confidence, but actually fuck all, because I had no money. And we're talking about Sydney, so it was hard. It was hard to invest in things which um, would improve my life. Like I had a time when I studied a bit. I forgot what it's called now. Sounds of the Streets. Pretty sure Mission Australia, Surrey Hills. Um, I was in a relationship, so I kind of got that one-itis, and I'm very concentrated. So I only made one joint. It was kind of forced upon me to make that one joint. I would I would freestyle. Um, it was interesting coming from Adelaide 2007 to coming to Sydney and getting up on stage in Newtown and the style of hip hop being completely different. I was opened up to a new realm of hip hop which I had really no idea about. Um, you know, if people ask me, oh, you lived in Sydney for 3 years, I wouldn't really say I lived there. I was just buying time. So, when I got back to Adelaide, my mentality was I'm gonna build on things which I had the inability to build on in Sydney, which was like work, getting better help for mental illness, um, stuff like that. But yeah, my original intention was to keep that group going for the love of graffiti. I'm not affiliated with graffiti crews. I don't do graffiti anymore. That was more so a something I did in my teens. So yeah, because of my conditions, sometimes you know, like they talk about being a one percenter, and the truth is I'm not a one percenter. I care a lot about people, and I care a lot about myself at times. But if I'm in a manic episode, I give zero fucks. Um, that is when I would consider myself a one percenter. In terms of, I don't really want to call it beef, because I don't feel like it's beef. But criticisms of posts from the Adelaide hip hop community and graffiti community. I mean, how can I word that? It was a bit of a backlash. It got turned on me a bit. It was from my idea was to unify through hip hop music, um, the east side. So people from Adelaide will know. So we're talking about Mitcham City, maybe Unley. Of course, there's way more respected people from myself, because in the Adelaide hip hop scene, I ain't shit. Um, but yeah, that was the original intention. And yeah, through through psychosis, it got to me a bit. But what I've learned here in Bali is, I had the idea before, but it was kind of cemented. Is if you do bad things, if you're a bad person, you live in your own mental hell. You might not realize it, but when you do good things, you feel good. Um, yeah. In terms of hip hop music, the future of me, I gotta be real. I have no idea where I'm gonna go with it. Uh, yeah, it'll be boom bap related. Um, Not lo-fi. I think the younger hip hop heads got lo-fi hip hop, that kind of chill hip hop, boom bap. They got that on lockdown. So um, yeah, they can. I'll let them take care of that. For me, I would probably go. My kind of inspiration uh, is like creatively as meek as it is, because there's not too much Tom Green hip hop out there. But I fucking love Tom Green as a comedian and a rapper. Uh, Pardon me. Sometimes when you're depressed, psychotic, whatever you want to call it, I don't even I don't even know anymore. Um, it's hard to make comedic hip hop. But what I will be doing is utilizing the skills that I have through my rehabilitation, and and see what I can make of it. Not even from a, pardon me, point of view of making money, but to get it heard, I suppose. If it gets heard, people like it, makes them happy, then that's good. Um, in terms of actual stand-up comedy, I've done it once in Adelaide. Uh, I made a story off the top of my head about getting into the most stupidest, retarded pole style fight in a library. Um, that didn't bomb. I rocked up, improv you. I got up. I did a 4.5 minute set off the top of my head. So there's potential in that. I'm trying to think like what the what the true meaning of this vlog is. But I will be back in Adelaide couple of weeks, less than a couple of weeks, and yeah, I, I I think differently to, I feel like a lot of people who criticize me. Like if I get a criticism or a bit of a jab, um, I actually respect it. It's the most fucking retarded thing to say in the graffiti hip hop scene, but I actually respect it. I don't get angry. I'm kind of honored. Um, but yeah, my original intention has always been to unify uh, my local east side area of Adelaide and just create a positive cipher in the literal sense of hip hop, and maybe help lads that want to learn freestyle writing. I'm pretty shit at writing because I rarely write rhymes. So that needs shit tons of work. Through psychosis, I'd say my rap skills are getting more fucking retarded. But yeah, no, I have this kind of like a view of love to even people who criticize me. I would say I've definitely fucked up on multiple levels. Um, but yeah, I'm just gonna keep going. That's it. If you wanna know about Pulse, sometimes I'm manic, sometimes I'm a 1%er, not in the bikey sense, but most of the time I care. If we're talking about psychosis, that's something that is prevalent and I don't think they'll ever go away, to be honest. When I'm in Bali, it's minimized, but it's still there. And I deal with these things such as I don't even know what to call it. If you just say anxiety, psychosis, mania, I usually deal with the paranoia through love. And when I say that, I mean compassion for other people, especially coming to Indonesia. Seeing less fortunate people. It's kind of like a reality check. Because I know Adelaide, we get heaps of shit Adelaide, and Instagram shout outs to the people who run that. I've been waiting to get on that for ages. But yeah, Adelaide I would describe as a city without a soul. And what I mean by that is it's pretty bland. But one ultimate thing that I respect about Adelaide is the love that people have for boom bap Aussie hip hop. Now, I'm not a specialist. I've experienced people who do boom bap in Sydney. I've experienced I don't know what it's called, like the grime shit or the trap music people. I'm like an old man already. I'm not sure what those categories are, but you know the real fast rap, and yeah, the kind of like slow, like Xanax rap. But yeah, I wake up today. If I was going to give a word of wisdom to anyone that does graffiti or is young and getting into the culture, I mean, I can tell you from a person that has collected welfare for a decent amount of time, that there has been periods where it's helped my life because of the ability to not work and have freedom. But I also totally agree that you should have a job, whether that be night fill at Foodland part time while you work on writing, like a book, while you work on your street art, while you work on your music. I am in complete agreement that it's good to work at the same time. And the reason for that, pardon me, is that there's no guarantee that those things, because they are creative, and usually, you know, if there's a 16-year-old kid, 17, 18 that wants to become a rapper, it's fucking hard to earn a living from that. I think I've seen accounts from Adelaide that are doing well, and I respect that. But at the same time, you need a plan B. And something that will also say that I learned in Sydney is that people that work full-time jobs, part-time jobs, and they pursue hip-hop music, usually they're the most successful. Because when I was fucking around in Sydney doing raps here and there, having no job was actually kind of a deterrent to success. So, yeah. That's really it. I would have to like stop the video and then like re-record it, but I'm just gonna upload this straight one take. But yeah, my love for hip hop culture, especially in Adelaide, has been there forever. And the reason being is because I turned hip hop music into a positive. Any adversity that I experienced in high school, which is a common problem, adversity through bad relationships, through through drug use, slowly developing schizophrenia. I kind of switched that around, and I said to myself, if I wasn't at the place I was in high school, I would have never experienced that culture that to this day I love. It's very easy to listen to artists like Mayhem Loren. I fucking love Mayhem Loren. And then when you listen to it, you feel like, yeah, I want to be a gangster and shit. I think on GTA, me being part of the GTA generation, you get pleasure and happiness from that, but you don't always want to emulate it. when it comes to, I think by now, anyone who may know who I am, or well, has experiences of interactions with me, knowing who I am is hard to know unless you know who I am. But if I see a graffiti crew or an OG graffiti artist, I actually have immense respect for them. And that's what it came down to. If I get dissed or I get criticized, I'm fucking honored, man. And it's so stupid because it's like, to the outside world of Adelaide, it's like no one cares, right? It's like, who the fuck are these people? And for me, I've always had admiration for them. Yeah. I don't know. This is like a complete like thoughts off the top of the head rant. But yeah, I think I'll end it at that. But if anyone in Adelaide wants to have a build, feel free. I don't have Facebook. I got Instagram. Under the same title as my YouTube channel, and have a like, if you want to have a build, please do. I got no friends. So yeah, man. I would love to hear the perspectives from the youth in an authentic fashion. Um, I think I think a good end to this video is to say that because of my conditions, I'm liable to do anything. And I'm not saying like I'm full fucking crazy and shit, but I fuck up. I fuck up sometimes. I've been wanting to make this video, but I didn't have the perspective. Um, I had a glimpse when I was in Adelaide, but coming to Bali and seeing people struggling, um, it kind of changed. It kind of boosted that mentality of love. So yeah, that's it, man. Peace to anyone who watches this. Um, if you are from Adelaide, feel free to message me on Instagram and have a build. Peace to everyone representing the culture. Sorry, man. I'm heaps tired. My sleep cycle's been fucked. Um, but yeah, peace to Adelaide hip hop. If you haven't heard of Adelaide, you're instantly whack. I love that joint, man. So yeah, peace. It's Pulse, Emcee, Luke Pulse, and Tony Ozzy. And yeah, I'm signing off. Peace.